Listen to me. There is a divine hand at work in your life right now, shaping circumstances, weaving connections, and quietly orchestrating a sequence of events that will lead to a miracle designed specifically for you. You may not see it yet, and you may even feel as though life is moving too slowly, or worse, as if nothing is happening at all. But these feelings are not signs of abandonment. They are evidence that the miracle is being prepared, layer by layer, with precision and care beyond human understanding. Consider for a moment the process of building a great structure. The foundation must be dug, the steel reinforced, and the framework meticulously aligned before the building can rise majestically. In the same way, your life is undergoing preparation. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that seems to delay your progress, is like a piece of this grand design being positioned perfectly so that when the miracle arrives, it will fit seamlessly into your life. Even what seems frustrating or confusing has a purpose. These moments are shaping your character, refining your faith, and aligning your spirit to receive what God has already promised. Think about how a seed is planted in the dark soil. From the outside, it looks dormant, lifeless, and buried, but deep within, an unseen process of growth is happening. The seed endures pressure from the soil, darkness, and moisture. It must break through resistance and embrace transformation. In the same way, your current trials are not random or meaningless. They are the fertile ground from which your miracle will emerge. They are teaching you patience, resilience, and reliance on divine guidance. Each setback, each moment of doubt, is like the pressure of the soil on the seed, necessary for it to grow into something beautiful and life-giving. Without these trials, the miracle might arrive, but your ability to fully receive, appreciate, and steward it would be diminished. Preparation is an essential part of blessing. God's miracles are never merely gifts. They are the culmination of purpose, timing, and readiness. It is also important to understand that miracles do not always arrive according to our own schedules or expectations. Humans tend to think linearly. We see a problem, we pray for a solution, and we expect the answer immediately. But divine timing operates on a plane far higher than human comprehension. The miracle that is coming for you is being meticulously arranged in ways you cannot yet perceive. The connections, encounters, and circumstances are being positioned with mathematical precision to ensure that when the moment comes, it will be perfect. Every prayer you have whispered, every act of patience, and every effort you have made in faith is a contribution to this preparation. It is a process, not a moment, and understanding this process allows you to cultivate patience without despair, hope without hesitation, and faith without wavering. Furthermore, God's preparation is not just about external events, it is also about your inner transformation. The miracle is not meant to solve only external problems. It is designed to refine your heart, enlarge your capacity to receive, and elevate your understanding of what is truly possible through divine intervention. Just as the clay must be kneaded before it is shaped into a vessel, your spirit is being molded, your faith strengthened, and your vision expanded so that when the miracle comes, it will not overwhelm you or slip through your hands unnoticed. This preparation ensures that you can fully embrace the blessing, walk in its power, and become a source of inspiration to others. So, while it may seem like nothing is happening on the surface, trust that beneath the visible layer of your life, divine activity is in motion. The delays, the uncertainties, the moments of quiet waiting, all of these are part of a grand, purposeful design that is beyond human measurement. God is aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities in ways that will converge perfectly to bring your miracle into being. Your responsibility is to remain steadfast, maintain hope, nurture your faith, and recognize that the present season is the preparation stage for something far greater than you could imagine. Never underestimate the significance of preparation. It is in this season that your character is strengthened, your vision clarified, and your spirit trained to receive the extraordinary. God is working behind the scenes, arranging the unseen, and preparing a miracle that is uniquely yours. No matter how impossible it may seem today, hold on to the truth that every moment, every challenge, and every act of faith is contributing to the unveiling of something miraculous. The miracle is coming. It has been promised, it is being prepared, and it will arrive in the perfect moment, transforming your life in ways that will leave you in awe and inspire others to believe. It is crucial to understand that God's timing is flawless, even when it conflicts with our sense of urgency or our desire for immediate results. We often want answers on our schedule, expecting life to move in a straight line from problem to solution. But divine timing operates on a higher plane, beyond human measurement or comprehension. The miracle that God is preparing for you is not random. It is being orchestrated in ways you cannot yet perceive. Every delay, every obstacle, and every moment of waiting is purposeful, acting as a mechanism to align your circumstances perfectly with the blessing that is coming. Consider a symphony. Each note, each pause, and each measure is arranged meticulously so that when the music reaches its climax, it produces harmony and beauty. In the same way, the events of your life are being carefully arranged to culminate in a moment of extraordinary transformation. While it may appear that things are stagnant, the unseen hand of God is moving tirelessly, ensuring that everything falls into place at the perfect moment. This preparation involves not only external events, but also the refinement of your character, mindset, and spiritual readiness. The miracle is being prepared not merely to change your situation, but to elevate your capacity to receive it and to respond with gratitude, wisdom, and responsibility. Just as a master craftsman takes raw materials and shapes them through careful, deliberate effort, God is shaping your life through challenges, experiences, and lessons that test and strengthen you. Every delay, disappointment, or setback is a tool in this divine process, teaching patience, building resilience, and cultivating the kind of faith that can recognize and embrace a miracle when it arrives. Without this preparation, you might receive the blessing, but you would not fully appreciate its significance or wield it with the purpose it demands. Persistence is also essential during this period of preparation. Faith is not passive, it is active. While awaiting your miracle, you are expected to continue pursuing your responsibilities, nurturing your relationships, and walking in integrity. Each step you take in faith, however small it may seem, contributes to the readiness of your life to receive the miraculous. Prayer, reflection, and consistent alignment with divine principles create a spiritual resonance that prepares the ground for the miracle to manifest. Imagine the process of planting a tree. You water it, tend to the soil, remove the weeds, and care for it patiently, even though the fruit will only appear after time. Your actions, combined with unwavering trust in God's timing, prepare the soil of your life for the breakthrough that is imminent. Moreover, anticipation plays a vital role in aligning yourself with God's miracle. Develop a mindset of expectancy, where you actively believe that a divine breakthrough is on its way. This positive expectation is not wishful thinking. It is a spiritual posture that trains your mind and heart to recognize opportunities, solutions, and blessings as they arrive. When you expect a miracle, you are more likely to notice subtle shifts in circumstances, meet the right people at the right time, and take advantage of unexpected opportunities that might otherwise go unnoticed. In essence, faith and anticipation work together as a dynamic force, preparing both your inner world and your external environment for the miraculous intervention that God has planned. Trusting God during periods of waiting also strengthens your resilience. When situations appear confusing or obstacles seem insurmountable, it is tempting to become frustrated, anxious, or even doubtful. Yet these moments are opportunities to deepen your faith, to surrender control, and to trust in the perfect wisdom of the divine. Understanding that God's plan is meticulous and flawless, even when it is invisible to you, allows you to remain steady and patient. Each challenge you overcome, each act of faith in uncertainty, becomes a testimony to the power and reliability of God's timing. Ultimately, the season of preparation ensures that when your miracle arrives, it will be received with clarity, gratitude, and purpose. The delays, the lessons, the refining trials, they are not obstacles but stepping stones to readiness. They align your life, strengthen your spirit, and expand your capacity to fully embrace the extraordinary. Every moment you spend in faith, patience, and persistence is an essential part of this divine process. And when the miracle manifests, it will not only transform your life, but also inspire others to believe in the power of divine intervention. Your miracle is not only coming, it is being prepared with absolute precision, and it will arrive at the perfect time, in a way that exceeds anything you could have imagined. Prayer and consistent spiritual focus are indispensable in the preparation for your miracle. It is not enough to hope or wish for change. True transformation requires alignment with divine will through intentional communication and devotion. When you approach God with unwavering faith, you are not merely asking for a solution to your problems. You are actively participating in the process that prepares both your heart and circumstances to receive the extraordinary. Prayer serves as the bridge between human effort and divine intervention. Through it, you cultivate a mindset of expectancy, clarity, and openness to guidance that might otherwise go unnoticed. Consider it like a tuning process. When an instrument is tuned correctly, it resonates with the perfect pitch. When your heart and mind are aligned through consistent prayer, your life begins to resonate with the frequency of the miracle that is coming. This spiritual resonance is what allows you to recognize and embrace the breakthrough when it manifests. Equally important is the development of an anticipatory mindset. Expectancy is not mere optimism or blind hope. It is an active, conscious posture of faith that prepares you to receive blessings with confidence and clarity. When you expect a miracle, you begin to see opportunities, resources, and solutions that might have otherwise been invisible. Your eyes are open to the subtle ways in which God is arranging circumstances on your behalf. You notice coincidences that are not random, doors opening at just the right moment, and encounters that provide guidance or support precisely when needed. Anticipation transforms waiting into preparation. It turns patience into a powerful tool rather than a passive experience. When you actively expect a miracle, your thoughts, actions, and emotions are aligned with the unfolding plan, creating an environment where the miraculous can occur. Faith and action must always work together in this period. While miracles are divine in origin, they often require human participation to fully manifest. Your actions, when guided by faith and inspired by prayer, contribute directly to the readiness of your life. Think of it as planting seeds. The miracle is the harvest, but the planting, watering, and nurturing are your role in the process. Consistent effort in alignment with divine principles ensures that when the moment of intervention comes, you are prepared to receive it. This is why spiritual focus is so crucial. It directs your energy and actions in a way that complements the work of God, creating synergy between human effort and divine orchestration. Every small act of faith, every disciplined moment of prayer, every choice to trust rather than despair, is a brick in the foundation of the miracle that is coming. Another essential aspect of this spiritual preparation is clarity of purpose. Prayer and reflection allow you to discern not only what you are asking for, but also why it is important in the context of your life. God's miracles are never random. They are purposeful, designed to elevate your life, strengthen your faith, and impact the world around you. Through focused prayer, you gain insight into how the miracle will serve not just your immediate needs, but your long-term growth and spiritual development. This clarity empowers you to receive the blessing in a way that maximizes its impact and ensures it fulfills the divine purpose for which it was intended. Without this level of understanding, miracles can be misinterpreted, undervalued, or even mismanaged. Preparation of the mind and heart ensures that the miracle arrives into a life ready to honor it. It is also important to recognize the discipline involved in maintaining consistent spiritual focus. Distractions, doubts, and external pressures are inevitable, but these are tests of endurance and faith. Every moment you choose prayer over anxiety, patience over frustration, and trust over fear, you strengthen the spiritual foundation upon which your miracle will stand. Like a metal being tempered through fire, your faith and character are being refined to withstand the pressures that come with significant change. The miracle is not just a gift. It is an event that requires readiness, wisdom, and maturity to fully embrace. This preparation equips you to not only receive, but also steward the blessing in a way that glorifies God and fulfills His purpose. Finally, the combination of prayer, anticipation, clarity, and disciplined focus creates a dynamic environment in which miracles are not only possible, but inevitable. As your spiritual alignment grows stronger, you begin to see patterns of divine orchestration in your life, recognizing the subtle ways in which God has been preparing the path all along. This awareness fosters gratitude, deepens faith, and reinforces the conviction that your miracle is coming. When the moment arrives, it will not only meet your expectations but exceed them, transforming your life and inspiring others to believe in the power of unwavering faith. Your consistent spiritual focus ensures that the miracle is not just an event, but a catalyst for lasting change, growth, and impact in ways that will resonate far beyond your own life. Do not underestimate the significance of trust during the season of preparation. Trust is the invisible bridge that connects your faith to the miraculous, and it is cultivated most profoundly when circumstances seem confusing, overwhelming, or contrary to what you had envisioned. Life often presents situations that test our patience, challenge our understanding, and push us beyond the limits of our comfort. These moments are not intended to discourage or derail you. Rather, they are the very circumstances in which trust is strengthened and your capacity to receive a miracle is expanded. When you surrender control, choosing to place your confidence in God's wisdom instead of your own understanding, you create space for the miraculous to enter. Trust does not mean passivity. It means actively believing that every delay, every obstacle, and every unseen twist in your journey is part of a larger perfect plan. The deeper your trust, the more you can navigate uncertainty without fear, and the more your life becomes a vessel ready to receive extraordinary blessings. Consider the way rivers carve valleys through solid rock over centuries. The water does not force its way recklessly. It flows persistently, gently, and with an unshakable purpose. Over time, what seemed immovable yields to the patient, consistent force of the river. Similarly, trust is the persistent flow of faith that allows divine power to reshape your circumstances. When you encounter delays or setbacks, instead of resisting or becoming anxious, you maintain the steady current of trust, knowing that God's plan cannot be thwarted and that every moment of waiting has value. Each instance of reliance on divine wisdom, rather than immediate control, strengthens your character and prepares you to embrace the miracle with clarity, joy, and readiness. Trust also fosters resilience. Life will invariably present challenges that appear insurmountable, and without trust, fear and doubt can dominate your perspective. But when you anchor yourself in the assurance that God's timing is perfect and that His plans are flawless, you gain a sense of stability that transcends external circumstances. You are able to endure trials without losing hope, face adversity without despair, and continue moving forward even when the path is unclear. This resilience is essential because the arrival of a miracle often coincides with the culmination of tests, challenges, and periods of spiritual growth. The stronger your trust, the more fully you can recognize and receive the miraculous when it manifests, and the less likely you are to miss the blessing due to impatience, doubt, or fear. Another critical aspect of trust is the willingness to surrender personal expectations and control. Human beings naturally desire to dictate the how and when of their lives. But divine miracles operate according to principles and timing that are often beyond human comprehension. By releasing the need to control outcomes, you align yourself with the flow of God's plan. This does not mean abandoning action or responsibility. Rather, it means combining diligent effort with faith, knowing that the results ultimately rest in divine hands. It is a balance between trust and action, between surrender and perseverance. Every prayer, every act of faith, and every disciplined step becomes part of the preparation, contributing to a scenario where the miracle is positioned to have maximum impact. Trust also transforms the waiting period into a season of growth and understanding. Instead of viewing delays as obstacles, you begin to see them as opportunities for spiritual development, character refinement, and alignment with divine purpose. During this time, God is not idle. He is orchestrating events, connecting people, and creating circumstances that will converge perfectly to bring your miracle to fruition. The challenges you face are not distractions. They are preparation. The lessons learned, patience developed, and wisdom gained all serve to make the eventual blessing more meaningful and transformative. By embracing trust, you cultivate a perspective that sees beyond the immediate difficulties to the greater plan unfolding in your life. Finally, trust prepares your heart to fully receive the miracle and ensures that it will not only meet your needs, but also impact others in meaningful ways. When you trust, your expectations are aligned with divine wisdom, your actions are guided by faith, and your heart is ready to steward the blessing responsibly. Miracles are not isolated events. They ripple through lives, communities, and generations. Your trust in the preparation process ensures that the miracle is not just an answer to a problem, but a testament of divine faithfulness, a source of inspiration, and a catalyst for further blessings. Every moment spent in trust, patience, and surrender strengthens your capacity to receive, magnifies the impact of the miracle, and positions you to walk in its transformative power. Miracles are not passive gifts. They are invitations to action, and understanding this principle is essential to preparing your life to receive the extraordinary. While God orchestrates the circumstances and positions opportunities, human participation is often required to bring the miracle into full manifestation. Action is not a replacement for faith. It is the expression of faith in motion. Every choice you make, every step you take in alignment with divine principles, contributes directly to the readiness of your life for the miraculous. Think of it like a gardener tending a plant. The seeds are provided. The sunlight and water are essential. But without consistent care, attention, and nurturing, the plant cannot grow to its full potential. In the same way, while God prepares the miracle, your actions, diligence, and consistent effort create the conditions for the blessing to flourish and endure. Purposeful action demonstrates trust. When you act in faith, you communicate readiness and openness to receive. Waiting passively without effort can sometimes limit your ability to fully experience the miracle. By contrast, actively pursuing your responsibilities, maintaining integrity in every decision, and serving others faithfully not only aligns you with God's will, but also strengthens the spiritual environment in which miracles thrive. Each act of diligence, patience, and obedience becomes a building block that supports the manifestation of the miracle. Every step, no matter how small it may seem, signals to the divine that you are prepared to steward the blessing when it arrives. This combination of faith and action amplifies the effectiveness of your prayers and spiritual focus, creating a harmonious balance between waiting and doing. Action guided by faith also ensures that the miracle reaches its fullest potential. God's blessings are never random or superficial. They are purposeful, designed to transform your life and often the lives of those around you. By acting faithfully while awaiting your miracle, you maximize the impact of the blessing and prepare yourself to use it responsibly. Without this preparation through action, the miracle might still arrive, but its full potential could remain untapped. Consider the story of a student who studies diligently for years. Knowledge alone does not bring success. It is the consistent application of that knowledge that produces results. Similarly, miracles require both divine orchestration and human participation to reach their highest expression. Furthermore, action strengthens faith. When you continue to move forward despite uncertainty, you reinforce your belief in the reality of the miracle. Every step taken in alignment with divine guidance builds confidence, resilience, and clarity. You begin to see evidence of God's preparation in subtle ways. Opportunities present themselves, doors open unexpectedly, and connections are made at just the right time. These signs serve as confirmation that your efforts are not in vain, and that the miracle is indeed on its way. Action, therefore, not only contributes to the manifestation of the miracle, but also nurtures your spiritual growth, reinforcing your trust in God's timing and His perfect plan. It is also important to recognize that the nature of your actions matters. They must be purposeful, intentional, and aligned with principles of integrity, humility, and service. Random or self-serving efforts may produce temporary results, but they do not prepare the heart, mind, and spirit for the lasting impact of a divine miracle. Your actions should reflect the values and principles that honor God, demonstrating readiness to receive a blessing that is both meaningful and transformative. When your behavior, decisions, and efforts are aligned with divine purpose, the miracle finds fertile ground to manifest fully. Finally, remember that action is a demonstration of partnership with God. Miracles are often collaborative in nature. God provides the power and preparation, but your responsibility is to participate faithfully, step by step, day by day. This partnership strengthens both your spiritual character and the outcome itself, ensuring that the miracle is received with appreciation, wisdom, and the capacity to produce lasting change. By actively engaging in preparation, you position yourself to embrace the blessing fully, ensuring that it is not only a temporary solution, but a transformative force in your life, capable of inspiring others and magnifying the impact of God's work through you. Trust in God's divine wisdom is the cornerstone of receiving your miracle, and understanding this principle can transform the way you perceive challenges, delays, and the unfolding of your life. Human beings naturally rely on their own understanding, attempting to control circumstances, predict outcomes, and manage every detail of their lives. While it is reasonable to plan and act responsibly, it is equally essential to recognize that God's wisdom far exceeds human comprehension. Every situation you encounter, no matter how complex, confusing, or discouraging, is part of a deliberate divine design intended to bring about your good. When you surrender your need to understand every detail and place your confidence fully in God's wisdom, you create space for miraculous intervention. This surrender is not passive resignation. It is active faith that acknowledges the limits of human knowledge and embraces the perfection of divine timing. Trusting in God's wisdom requires patience, and patience itself is a form of active faith. It is easy to become frustrated when circumstances appear stagnant or when progress is slower than expected. But impatience does not accelerate the miracle. It only clouds your ability to see the subtle ways in which God is preparing your breakthrough. Consider a master painter who carefully layers colors, allowing each coat to dry before adding the next. The masterpiece cannot be rushed, and every layer, even if invisible at first, contributes to the beauty of the finished work. In the same way, every delay, every moment of preparation, and every unseen effort is part of a divine layering process that is perfecting your life for the miracle that is destined to arrive. Patience allows you to witness the full expression of God's wisdom and ensures that you are ready to receive the miracle when it manifests in its fullness. Faith in God's wisdom also equips you to navigate uncertainty with confidence and resilience. Life is filled with variables, many of which are beyond human control, and it is easy to be unsettled by unpredictability. Yet those who trust in God's plan can face uncertainty without fear, because they know that the unseen hand of God is orchestrating events for their ultimate good. Every encounter, every challenge, and every opportunity is being positioned strategically to prepare the way for your miracle. Trust allows you to move forward with courage and clarity, knowing that even when the path seems unclear, it is guided by perfect intelligence and divine insight. The more you embrace this trust, the less you are swayed by doubt, fear, or the opinions of others, and the more your faith becomes a stabilizing force in your life. Another vital aspect of trusting in God's wisdom is the ability to recognize that timing matters. Miracles often arrive at the exact moment when they will have the greatest impact, not necessarily when we desire them. God's plan takes into account every factor, the right people, circumstances, and conditions, to ensure that the blessing is fully effective and transformative. This means that delays or periods of waiting are not setbacks. They are intentional phases of preparation, designed to ensure that your life is ready to receive and sustain the miracle. Each day of trust, each moment of patience, and each act of faith aligns you more closely with the divine timeline, increasing the likelihood that your miracle will unfold in a way that exceeds your expectations. Trusting God's wisdom also encourages humility and surrender, which are essential for spiritual growth. When you acknowledge that God's understanding surpasses your own, you release the burden of control and allow divine insight to guide your decisions and actions. This humility fosters alignment with God's purposes and opens your heart to receive guidance, opportunities, and blessings that might otherwise be overlooked. By trusting in wisdom greater than your own, you develop the discernment needed to act wisely in anticipation of the miracle, avoiding choices that might hinder its manifestation. Finally, trust in divine wisdom deepens your relationship with God and strengthens your capacity to witness and share the miracle when it arrives. When you have experienced the process of surrender, patience, and reliance on God's insight, the resulting blessing becomes more than just an answer to a problem. It becomes a testimony of faith, a source of inspiration, and a demonstration of God's faithfulness to others. This wisdom ensures that the miracle is not only transformative for you personally, but also has a ripple effect, impacting those around you and encouraging them to place their trust in the divine as well. Trusting God's wisdom prepares your life in ways that action alone cannot achieve, and it lays the foundation for the miracle to arrive fully formed, effective, and life-changing. Finally, it is essential to recognize that receiving a miracle is not solely a personal experience. It is also an opportunity to inspire, encourage, and influence others through your testimony. When God brings a miraculous breakthrough into your life, it is rarely meant to remain confined to your own circumstances. Rather, it serves as a living demonstration of divine power, faithfulness, and wisdom. Sharing your experience allows others to see the reality of God's work and strengthens their belief in the possibility of miracles. Your testimony becomes a beacon of hope for those who are struggling, a guiding light that illustrates that perseverance, faith, and trust in God's timing can lead to extraordinary outcomes. In this way, the miracle becomes not only a personal blessing, but also a tool for multiplying faith and hope within your community. The act of sharing your testimony is also a reinforcement of your own faith. By recounting the process of preparation, the challenges you overcame, and the eventual manifestation of the miracle, you solidify the lessons learned and strengthen your own spiritual resilience. Reflection on God's faithfulness helps you internalize the truth that miracles are real, that divine timing is perfect, and that your consistent faith and actions contributed to the outcome. It serves as a reminder that no matter how difficult the journey, persistence in prayer, patience in waiting, and alignment with divine principles produce results. Each time you share your story, you not only encourage others, but also reaffirm your own understanding and experience of God's power. Furthermore, miracles are often catalysts for greater purpose. The blessing you receive can open doors to new opportunities, strengthen relationships, and expand your capacity to serve others. Your miracle may inspire others to take steps of faith, to persevere through their own challenges, and to trust in the unseen work of God. It becomes a ripple effect, where one act of divine intervention influences countless lives beyond your immediate circle. Recognizing this broader purpose gives your miracle a meaning that extends far beyond personal gain. It becomes part of a larger narrative of hope, transformation, and divine orchestration. Your experience thus not only validates your faith, but also contributes to the spiritual growth and encouragement of others. Sharing your testimony requires intentionality and humility. It is not simply about boasting or seeking recognition. It is about providing evidence of what God can do and encouraging others to place their trust in Him. When you speak of your experience, highlight the process of preparation, the patience, the perseverance, the alignment of your actions with faith, and the trust in God's timing. Show others that miracles are not instantaneous or random, but the result of a divine plan in which human cooperation through faith and action plays a crucial role. By emphasizing the journey as well as the outcome, your story becomes a teaching tool, equipping others to approach their own lives with hope, trust, and readiness for the extraordinary. Moreover, the miracle itself often carries a message. It may be intended to reveal God's faithfulness, to restore hope in despairing situations, or to redirect your life toward a greater purpose. When you share the miracle, you allow others to see this message and learn from it. Your experience becomes a living lesson, demonstrating that no matter the depth of struggle, the intensity of delay, or the complexity of challenges, God's power and wisdom remain unshakable. Witnessing the fulfillment of a miracle in your life can inspire faith in others who might feel hopeless, showing them that perseverance, prayer, trust, and action are pathways to experiencing divine intervention. Finally, the act of sharing your miracle encourages community and reinforces the universal truth that miracles are part of God's plan for all who believe. It builds faith collectively, strengthens spiritual bonds, and nurtures a culture of hope, expectation, and reliance on divine guidance. By allowing your experience to serve as a living testimony, you transform your personal blessing into a resource for others, amplifying the impact of the miracle far beyond your own life. In doing so, you not only celebrate God's faithfulness, but also contribute to a legacy of hope, trust, and inspiration that empowers others to believe in the miraculous.